Dr. Kemi of Nigeria, it's Monday, the 29th of September 2025. Let's talk about some factual information that you never got a hold of because you were not in the conversation. And I'm going to label it Dr. Kemi Facts. In 2015, Nigeria had an election, a major one, okay, where President Goodluck Jonathan was kind of really running for re-election since he took over the late president's term. This sort of thing happened in Ghana too when Mahama came and took over the rest of Atta Mills' term. But let's focus on Nigeria. What happened that year? Many of you were young. My son is 25 next month, and he was like 14, 15 then. When I say you're not in the conversation, means you were either in secondary school and you were not in the news and internet and all. You were too young. Your parents wouldn't even give you a phone. But now you're the voter and you need to know these facts. In 2015, when Goodluck Jonathan ran for election, he ran this election under a budget that President Buhari and the APC claimed that came from the money President Obama gave Nigeria to fight Boko Haram. That money was a lot. It was $2.5 billion and a lot of military vehicles. Instead, they used the money to do the election. They shared the money amongst each other, and the facts are there. At the end of the day, they were busted. How were they busted? A media outlet actually put the story out, and it shocked Nigerians. Nigerians then decided not to vote for PDP and Goodluck Jonathan again, and they voted President Buhari and APC in. What was that media outlet? It was Sahara Reporters. Sahara Reporters gave a lot of credible news in those days, and most of their news were investigative-like and busting corruption. No doubt, we've seen what Sahara has done. But at that time, Omoyele Sowore was under fire because some politicians on the PDP side said that he collected $800,000 from Buhari and the APC, which was held and led by Tinubu at the time. President Tinubu was the chairman of the party, and PDP accused them of giving Sowore almost $1 million just to put the story out. It's not unusual to see a media outlet paid to put an exclusive story out on their platform, and that's what they wanted to achieve on the APC side. So a lot of PDP people were very, very angry at Sowore, saying that he collected all this money. He revamped Sahara Reporters in New York. And of course, we saw that Sahara had an office in New York and it was well revamped, and even the Lagos office. And they went after Sowore. Now, I can't confirm or deny that $800,000 or even the amount they paid him. But Sahara Reporters has been under fire. Other media outlets like Cable NG, Premium Times, and others were quite jealous of the amount of money, and they kind of was on the PDP side of things, saying that, yes, in fact, Sowore collected money to put the news out. Now, is it wrong to collect money to put news out? It was an exclusive story that can actually shift many things, and it shifted the election. At the end of the day, who are the people paying Cable NG and Premium Times? They were the same politicians on the other side. Now, young people, I need you to know this, okay? When Buhari was elected and he was sworn in, the first thing he did, the order of day, was to arrest every single person that shared that money. And there was proof. He arrested a lot of politicians, journalists, different people. People were like begging Buhari, please, let me tell you how I spent my own, what they gave us for. Nduka Baigbena, who owns This Day and Arise News, he came up with what, 600 million naira was his share, and he said it was for advertising. It was for an advertising campaign. Linda Ekeji collected 242 million. And Mrs. Jonathan's PA ran off. Eventually he was arrested, but he said he gave a Lagos blogger 242 million. And Linda did collect the money. So I exposed that part on my own platform that Linda collected 242 million. So when Punch, caught up with Linda, Punch asked Linda, what do you think about what Auntie Kemi said? And Linda admitted to getting the money, but she also said it was for advertising purposes, just like Nduka Obaigbena. Everybody had different reasons of how they collected the money. Some people were carrying just fresh cash all over the place. Jumoke Akinjide, who was a minister at the time in Johnson's government, was carrying money. Dezani, Alison Madueke, everybody was spending this $2.5 billion. At the end of the day, what happened next will shock you. Buhari now detained Sambo Dasuki, who was his arch enemy from the days of when he was married to his late wife, Safi, and it became do me or do you. You guys can see what's happening with President Trump now and former FBI chief James Comey, who think is do me or do you that Trump is trying to do with him. Go get all my political enemies kind of thing. Okay, so Dasuki got the treatment. He was locked up for the entire 4 years of Buhari's first administration. Even when the judges gave Dasuki bail, Buhari did not even let them enforce it. He started getting into this judiciary executive thing, like interfering with the judiciary and all. Now, as soon as Buhari got into office and settled into office, there was some $20 million missing at the CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria. During that meeting, they wanted to hide the money. And Emefiele was a major person speaking in the room. They said Ayafayoshe was in the room and other people. But at the end of the day, the recording that had Emefiele saying, how are we going to hide this money, was recorded by someone in the room. Okay, till today, I can only tell you that I believe he was one of the Army security guys who was standing in the room with them in the meeting that was doing that recording. Anyway, the recording got to Sahara reporters. They wanted to hide $20 million that they've already stolen. So when it got to Sahara reporter, Omoyele Sowore decided to air that and do a story about it. Now, this is where news gets confusing. Remember Tiwa Savage and myself? News is news. News doesn't have any favors. So, Tiwa didn't like the fact that I reported the sex tape and had opinions about it. The same thing, Buhari and Tinubu didn't like the fact that Sowore reported that $20 million missing from the CBN. So they decided to arrest Sowore and say they arrested him under the guise of planning a revolution. Revolution now. So in 2019, they arrested Sowore, the same people that paid Sowore allegedly to put Buhari in office and take Jonathan out. So the thing has been crazy. I supported Sowore on that side of news is news. Arrest, it's not even whatever. So Sahara Reporters had a 6-hour live on Sahara TV on YouTube. I was on it. Aisha Yusufu was on it. Kayode Ogunamisi was on it. Nnamdi Kanu was on it. Yeah, we were on that show. A show like that actually happened in Nigeria. So we talked about Showore's arrest and many other things. Eventually, Sowore was released, put on bail, strict movement, couldn't leave Abuja, couldn't go to Ondo, his hometown, couldn't see his mom. His mom had to travel to Abuja. It was just a mess. And then eventually when Tinubu came into office, Tinubu had the charges dropped and the case was gone. But since Tinubu has been in government, Sowore has been giving Tinubu hell. On his government, on his minister, Wike, and more. Still trying to outdo and bust Wike with corruption. So Nigerians got confused. This is the reason why I said VDM must never venture into politics. If you're a real activist, a true activist, you must never do politics. You must remain an activist. Sowore was an activist and he became a politician. That was a big mistake. He was an activist journalist, just like me. I would never do office, especially in Nigeria. If I have to be in office, maybe I'll consider America, but really activists are not good, activists are not good politicians. And this is what ruined Aisha Yusufu. She was an activist, and then she joined the Labour Party. And then everything went down for her from there. So I want you guys to understand what's going on. So what's the moral of the story? You can't vote Goodluck Jonathan in 2027. You'll be recycling leaders, and you'll be recycling a leader that stole money that belongs to us. That $2.5 billion was really never accounted for. The Obama money. So know that you cannot bring Jonathan back in any party whatsoever. I don't give a damn. But if you elect Jonathan, then you're crazy.